Welcome back. It's been a minute since I've recorded a video, hasn't it? I wanted to share my thoughts on Railjack. I've been playing Warframe a lot lately, and DE recently had a dev stream, and they did a demo of Railjack. You can see some of it on screen playing in the background now. While watching the gameplay, I'm looking forward to soloing it with my Archwing and playing with my friends, but I have some questions. If you remember when I first saw the demo way back at TennoCon, I said Archwings finally have a purpose, and that excites me. So I'm looking forward to that because I don't like necessarily the current iteration of Archwing. I like it in the outdoor areas. I don't like it in the indoor areas. My issue with Railjack is the gameplay because there is no way I would play this with randoms. I want to be clear about what's going on in the demo here. They were not prepared. And I'm glad that the demo played out this way because, in my opinion, this is how it will be for most people day one. Week one. Week 4. Players won't know what they are doing. They will be disorganized. And they might not have everything they need. So the way I see it, the good thing about the demo playing out this way is that if you make the right decisions on the fly, the mission can be successful. So I'm glad that their demo wasn't polished because, in my opinion, polished is one step away from being scripted. But let's back up a bit. Initially, they announced that Railjack would be multiplayer and soloable using AI to fill in the missing teammates. In the dev stream, they announced that the solo AI would not be included in the initial launch. So it's coming, but not at launch. The missions can still be done solo, but they'll be challenging. Sheldon mentioned he made Railjack stealth and used his Archwing to accomplish goals. So it's soloable, just not the way you're seeing here. They explained that they made it a commitment to true multiplayer co-op gameplay for Railjack. Now, I find this interesting because they know from experience players do not necessarily like playing together, depending on what the goal is. For example, when they added multiplayer aspects to Nightwave, and players made it clear that they didn't want to play together as much as was being offered in Nightwave, so they scaled it back. So in my opinion, this is a bold move, knowing that players responded that they didn't want to play together necessarily so much to accomplish goals, to push multiplayer gameplay and Railjack with no optimal solo option. And I just want to make it clear here, what, in my opinion, seems to be the issue is that players don't want to be dependent on other players for progression. Okay? Now, back to the demo that you're watching. To accomplish goals in the mission, resources are needed, which you can get while doing the mission. For missiles, health packs, etc., you need to build them. That would be someone's role to craft. While I like crafting, do I want to do it in the middle of a fight? I.e., when I could be, destroying the enemy? No. Who's going to do that and come away from it thinking, that was fun? I realized in the demo they were not prepared, it's not balanced, etc. So the amount of time being put on putting out fires or crafting is not accurate. I get that. But I have a hard time seeing people going from space ninja smacking all the things to newbie crafter praying for resources and enjoying it. To me, this is the equivalent of changing the disruption mode to having to get resources to craft the key 8 times instead of the key dropping from mobs. Would that be fun? Why introduce crafting in the middle of exciting gameplay? Will Railjack be newbie friendly? How do you deal with an incompetent player? What if a player is assigned the task of repairing the ship, but instead they hop off in their archwing? What if you aren't in a clan? What if you're in a clan with a bunch of inactive members? Since this is clan-based, the amount of resources needed scales with clan size. I was thinking about it, and maybe one goal could be to farm for resources to ensure there are plenty so you don't need to. Oh, wait. Did you see the cargo hold size limitation? Is that expandable with Plat? How is DE making money from this new game mode? Because they are a business and devs have to eat. Is this what the grind is about? I mean, even if they allowed resources to be bought with Plat, buying the resources to do the mission has nothing to do with successfully completing the mission. So is that, a way to get around crafting in the middle of gameplay? I'm blessed to have a group of friends to play with. You'll see me playing with Nith, Jesse, and Paige. I've played Ark with them, so it will be familiar to you. When it comes to farming and roles, we'll do what needs to get done because we've been playing together for a long time. Jesse won't care if, for example, we use my Railjack and we farm a bunch of resources and it goes to my clan because he knows we'll run it again and next time use his Railjack so he and Paige can benefit from getting the resources. We'll also be on Discord, verbally communicating with each other. When we screw up, we don't get mad at each other. We laugh it off. I can see similar experiences in clans. The demo was a similar experience as they were able to easily communicate with one another. They know each other and they like each other. At first, I thought the simple solution would be to have the resources farmed before accepting the mission. Until I saw the cargo hold limitation. But another question, that I have is, if I donate the resources for the mission, shouldn't I receive a higher reward? Shouldn't the person using their Railjack get a higher reward? It becomes complicated. This is the only game mode where there's this level of micromanagement during gameplay. One of my issues with Warframe that I've mentioned before is that I feel that sometimes the reward doesn't match the time invested to complete the task. For example, Nightwave. I've posted on Twitter where I've excelled further in Nightwave. I enjoy Nightwave, but I made it very clear, promise to myself, if there is a task that I feel is not worth the reward for the time sink, I won't do it. And Nightwave has become very enjoyable to me because I do not feel the need to complete everything on there. And I do not feel the need to get all 30 ranks. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. But the important thing to me is not to burn myself out on a grind and for Warframe to remain enjoyable. Railjack is falling in this category. The final rewards have not been mentioned, but it would have to be something considerable for me to play this with randoms because I think most people would want to leave the ship versus craft or put out fires or, whatever. I mean, just compare what you're looking at Rebecca doing versus what Megan and Trevor are doing, or even what the pilot is doing, because even the pilot is stifled based on, resources and whatnot, because resources are thrown in the middle of gameplay. I mean, it would be different if you could, okay, to complete this task, you need this, and that. And then you start off and do your thing, but then that takes away the randomness and the WTFs that can happen in the middle of the gameplay. I think most people will start off with roles, but continuing them through the mission when they can leave and have more fun, I realize that the demo was unbalanced and will be modified, but that doesn't change the chaos that will happen when this is first released, or if you have unbalanced players, etc., and during harder missions. It's an adrenaline rush for sure. I mean, they didn't even show mobs invading the ship in this demo. And then they were talking about points of interest that are even more challenging than what you're looking at. So that's another problem, set of problems that will have to be dealt with that is avoidable if the ship is stealthed and you're just in your archwing. You see what I'm saying? So I don't see this working well with random people. And it's not like there's matchmaking in Warframe like there is in a traditional MMO that has multiplayer aspects to it. Like you do a dungeon and they will try to match you with people to form a optimal group. Or with League of Legends, where they will try to match you with people that have the same skill level as you. With Warframe, you're just thrown in with people. And this is an aspect where if you're thrown in with randoms, you're going to want somebody that has the same skill as you. But how do you even measure that? Mastery rank ain't it. I can tell you that because I've seen people, no disrespect, that have very high mastery rank, but can't solo shit, because they grouped up with people and didn't play. They got it done, but what they did was ran after the people that knew how to complete it and got the reward. That's not going to work with Railjack. Railjack, you need everybody to participate. So I'm very curious how this is going to play out. And again, this doesn't necessarily apply to me because I've got a group of 4 and we're going to play together on Discord, coordinate with each other, laugh at each other, and it'll be a thing. I'm going to play it solo, which is what I'm like most seeing Rebecca. That's what I'm really excited for. But, yeah, with this being this way at launch, I do wonder how it's going to play out. And I'm curious what your thoughts are. Are you looking forward to it? And again, even when things are balanced, that doesn't change the fact that the roles are still going to be there. They're going to have to be done. Somebody's going to have to do boring stuff instead of, unless you really like to craft, fun stuff. Yeah, I'm curious about that. So let me know in the comments how you feel about that. And that's it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.